China's next-generation transportation technologies are shocking the world. And what you're about to see isn't science fiction, it's already happening. While most countries are still testing prototypes, China has deployed flying taxis, hyperloop trains, and autonomous vehicles that are carrying real passengers right now. Forget everything you thought you knew about the future of transportation. These 7 technologies will change how you think about getting from point A to point B forever. And we're starting with something that sounds impossible. A car that drives, flies, and floats on water. 7. XPeng AeroHT flying car. You've seen flying cars in movies your entire life. But here's what makes this different. XPeng's AeroHT isn't a concept vehicle, gathering dust in some showroom. It's a production model that received its type certificate in 2024, and it can actually do 3 things that sound impossible together. Drive on roads like a normal car, take off vertically, and fly through the air, and float on water like a boat. Here's where it gets interesting. The vehicle transforms in under 2 minutes. You're driving down a highway, hit traffic, and instead of sitting there frustrated, you extend the propellers, lift off, and fly over the congestion. Need to cross a river? The same vehicle floats. XPeng isn't promising this for some distant future. They're taking orders right now, with deliveries starting in 2025. The price tag is around $math BB, Fi 280, $0, which sounds expensive, until you realize you're getting 3 vehicles in one. But the real shock isn't that China built a flying car. It's that they certified it for commercial use, while most countries are still arguing about regulations. And if you think a flying car is impressive, wait until you see what's carrying passengers across entire cities without a pilot. 6. EHang E8 216S passenger drone. Imagine stepping into an aircraft with no pilot, no controls in front of you, just a seat and a touch screen. You tap your destination, the doors close, and you lift off into the sky. That's not a thought experiment, that's what's happening in China right now with EHang's autonomous passenger drones. The EH216S became the world's first pilotless passenger aircraft to receive airworthiness certification in 2023. This isn't a small test program. EHang has conducted thousands of passenger flights across multiple Chinese cities, including Guangzhou, Hefei, and Shenzhen. The drone carries 2 passengers, flies up to 30 kilometers, and operates completely autonomously. No human intervention, no remote pilot. The AI handles everything from takeoff to navigation to landing. Here's what makes this terrifying and amazing at the same time. You're trusting your life to algorithms and sensors, but EHang has maintained a perfect safety record across all those flights. The drone has 16 propellers, so if multiple motors fail, it can still land safely. It's designed with redundancy that most traditional aircraft don't have. And while Western companies are still running test flights with safety pilots on standby, EHang is selling tickets to regular passengers. But autonomous flying is just the beginning. China's next technology makes even conventional high-speed trains look slow. But while BYD was reinventing public transit, another Chinese company was putting artificial intelligence behind the wheel of something even more personal. 5. Baidu Apollo robotaxi fleet. Picture this. You're in Wuhan at midnight, you need a ride. And when the car pulls up, there's nobody in the driver's seat. Not because the driver is hiding, because there is no driver. Baidu's Apollo robotaxis aren't coming soon. They're already here, operating fully autonomous ride-hailing services across multiple Chinese cities right now. No safety driver, no remote operator ready to take control, just you, an empty front seat, and an AI that's completed millions of kilometers of real-world driving. In cities like Wuhan, Beijing, and Shenzhen, you can open an app, request a robotaxi, and watch as a driverless car navigates through traffic, construction zones, and pedestrians to pick you up. Here's where this gets intense. Baidu isn't running a small pilot program with a few dozen cars. They're operating thousands of robotaxis, completing hundreds of thousands of rides every single day. The scale is unprecedented. While Western companies are still geofencing their autonomous vehicles to specific neighborhoods and requiring safety drivers, Baidu is running commercial operations across entire cities. Even in challenging weather conditions and complex traffic scenarios, the technology uses a combination of LiDAR, cameras, radar, and AI that processes everything in real time. The cars handle situations that would make human drivers nervous, aggressive, lane changes, sudden obstacles, chaotic intersections, and the data keeps proving it works. The safety record is matching or exceeding human drivers. But autonomous cars still need one thing that's been holding back electric vehicles everywhere: batteries that take forever to charge. China just solved that problem in the most brilliant way possible. 4. CATL Battery Swap Stations Network. You pull into a station, drive over a platform, and 3 minutes later, you drive out with a fully charged battery. No plugging in, no waiting, no anxiety about finding a charger. CATL, the world's largest battery manufacturer, built a network of battery swap stations across China that's changing the entire equation for electric vehicles. While the rest of the world argues about charging infrastructure and range anxiety, China just eliminated the problem entirely. Instead of waiting 30 minutes or an hour at a fast charger, you swap your depleted battery for a fresh one in less time than it takes to fill a gas tank. Here's what makes this revolutionary. The stations are automated. You don't get out of your car. Robotic systems underneath the vehicle unlock your battery, slide it out, and install a fully charged replacement in under 3 minutes. The old battery goes into the station's charging queue, and you're back on the road. CATL has deployed hundreds of these stations in major cities, and they're expanding rapidly. For taxi drivers, delivery fleets, and anyone who drives long distances, this is a complete game changer. But the genius goes deeper. These batteries aren't just swapped, they're monitored. The stations check battery health, optimize charging cycles, and extend battery life beyond what individual owners could achieve. You're not just solving the charging problem. You're creating a system where batteries last longer and perform better. And while CATL was revolutionizing how vehicles get power, another Chinese company was deploying thousands of autonomous vehicles that most people walk right past without noticing. 3. Neolix Autonomous Delivery Vehicles. You're walking down a street in Beijing, and a small pod rolls past you with no driver. It stops at a building, a compartment opens, someone grabs their package, and it drives away. You just witnessed China's silent delivery revolution. Neolix has deployed thousands of autonomous delivery pods across Chinese cities, and they're not delivering in controlled environments or empty parking lots. They're navigating real streets, crowded sidewalks, and complex urban scenarios every single day. These aren't glorified, remote-controlled cars. They're fully autonomous. Level 4 vehicles that handle deliveries without any human intervention. No safety driver. No remote operator watching a screen ready to take control. Here's what makes this shocking. While most countries are still debating regulations for sidewalk robots, China has integrated these vehicles into the actual infrastructure. The pods communicate with traffic lights, they coordinate with city systems, and they've completed millions of deliveries. Companies use them for everything from food delivery to packages to mobile retail. Some are equipped with refrigeration for groceries. Others serve as mobile convenience stores that drive to you. The scale is what separates this from pilot programs elsewhere. Neolix alone has manufactured over 1,000 vehicles, and they're just one company in this space. These autonomous pods are becoming a normal part of Chinese city life, something you see multiple times a day without thinking twice about it. But delivery pods are just scratching the surface. China's next innovation takes autonomous flight to a whole new level of ambition. 2. AutoFlight Prosperity eVTOL. Forget short hops across the city. What if you could fly from one city to another without ever touching a road or a runway? AutoFlight's Prosperity eVTOL isn't designed for quick urban trips. It's built for distance. This autonomous flying vehicle has a range of 250 kilometers and can carry up to 4 passengers at speeds of 200 kilometers per hour. That means you could fly from Shanghai to Hangzhou in under an hour, completely bypassing highways, trains, and traditional airports. No pilot needed, no runway required. Just vertical takeoff, autonomous flight, and vertical landing. Here's where this gets serious. AutoFlight isn't a startup playing with prototypes. They've completed over 20,000 test flights and broken multiple world records for eVTOL distance and endurance. In 2023, the Prosperity flew 250 kilometers on a single charge, proving the technology works at commercial scale. The company is already working with cities to establish intercity air routes, and they're targeting commercial operations in 2025. The design is brilliant. The aircraft has 8 lift rotors for vertical takeoff and landing, plus a rear propeller for forward flight. Once airborne, it transitions from helicopter mode to airplane mode, which is far more efficient for longer distances. The redundancy is built into every system. If motors fail, it can still land safely. And because it's electric, operating costs are a fraction of traditional helicopters. But even 250 kilometers seems quaint compared to what's coming next. China is building something that will make every existing form of transportation look prehistoric. 1. Shenzhen's integrated smart transportation ecosystem. This is where everything comes together. And it's not a plan for 2030, it's operating right now in Shenzhen. You wake up and check your phone. The city's AI has already analyzed traffic patterns, weather, accidents, and events. It tells you the optimal way to get to work isn't your usual route. You step outside, and an autonomous electric bus arrives exactly when the app predicted. The bus communicates with every traffic light, never hitting a red. 15 minutes later, you're at a transit hub, where an autonomous subway is waiting the doors open just as you arrive because the system knew you were coming. But here's where it gets incredible. This isn't just vehicles talking to each other. Shenzhen has connected everything: autonomous buses, driverless metros, EV charging networks, battery swap stations, bike sharing systems, traffic lights, parking structures, and even the eVTOL landing pads being installed on rooftops. One AI manages the entire city's transportation as a single, living system. The results are staggering. Traffic congestion has dropped by over 30%. Average commute times have fallen even as the city's population grew. Energy consumption for transportation is down because the system optimizes every route, every vehicle, every charge cycle. The AI predicts demand and positions vehicles before people even request them. It reroutes traffic around accidents before backup begins. It's like the entire city is breathing in perfect rhythm. And this is what shocks the world. Shenzhen has 12 million people. This isn't a small test city. This is a massive, dense, complex metropolis where the integrated smart transportation system handles millions of trips every single day. Every technology you've seen in this countdown, the flying taxis, the autonomous vehicles, the maglev trains, the battery swaps, they all feed into this network. They all communicate. They all optimize each other. China didn't just build next-generation transportation technologies. They built the nervous system that connects them all, and it's already working at a scale nobody thought possible. That's what's truly shocking. The future of transportation isn't coming. It's already here, and it's learning and improving every single day.